program, Lawrence Warunge, a murder suspect in a case where 5 people were killed this morning, did not take plea after a psychiatric test found him unfit to stand trial. Sarah Mudhoni, who was also a suspect, is now free after the prosecution successfully applied to make her a state witness. The proceedings took place earlier this morning in a packed Kiambu courtroom at Warunge's psychiatric report that says that had caused delays on Monday. This means he will remain in custody for 30 more days while receiving treatment from the Mathare Referral Hospital. Sarah and Lawrence had been apprehended over the murder of 4 family members and a farmhand at Warunge's Kiambu home. Some of Sarah's relatives received the news of the new development with a lot of relief. The case will be up for mention on the 1st of March 2021. However, the progress of the trial will be dependent on Warunge's mental evaluation at the time, as well as the ongoing investigations. Well, let's now speak live.
The psychiatrist report dated 21st of January 2021, and Lawrence Warunge, first respondent, has been found to be mentally unstable and is unfit to treat to the charges. I have also considered that the second respondent, Sarah, is now being treated as a prosecution witness. She has no objection to that. I allow the application. The first respondent is remanded in prison custody, in this case Nairobi, to continue or to undergo treatment at Mathare Mental Hospital. His case will be mentioned on 1st March 2021. As regards the second respondent, Sarah, she is discharged under Section 87A of CPC as applied by the prosecution.
Let's speak to our reporter Mark Namaswala for us from our city centre studios. He is following this case closely. Mark, good afternoon. What is next now following the psychiatric test for Lawrence Warunge?
Now, the plot or the trajectory of the story, starting from the events on the night waking up to January 6, 2021, and the murder and the arrest of these previously 2 suspects, tells you that at this point that we have reached in the murder plot, this is when the story reaches the departure point. We initially had 2 suspects, and then one decided to become a state witness in the case, and the other one remained a suspect. So we have reached a departure point in the story in which 2 people were previously linked to the same murder occurrence, and now it has reached a point in which one decides to become a witness and another one remains a suspect. Now, yesterday we expected to have the 2 in court, that is Lawrence Warunge, the first accused, as well as Sarah Mudhoni, the second accused, but we only had Sarah Mudhoni, the second accused. We were informed in court yesterday that Sarah's psychiatric evaluation indicated that she was fit to stand trial or participate in the court process concerning the murder probe. However, yesterday also we had Warunge not in court because his psychiatric evaluation report had not been finalized. So today the report was in court and it indicated that he was not fit to stand trial. So what happens is that the court has directed that he goes back to remand for 30 days, and during that period he will be undergoing treatment to address his mental capacity and his mental issues. So this tells us that he will be in custody while Sarah will be out and will be acting as a state witness going forward. So what we expect is that come March 1st, that is roughly 30 days from today, they will be back in court, but the case will still be dependent on the mental evaluation report of Lawrence Warunge, whether he will be fit by then to stand trial or not, mentally speaking.
Right, and I mean, you've been following this case, Mark. This is his second mental assessment test that he's going through. They went through the first one about a week and a half ago, and after that first one, their status had been ascertained that they were fit to stand trial at the time. So how likely is it that this mental assessment test could further prolong the trial of this case?
Now, the case cannot proceed if the main suspect, now we have just one suspect, the case is firmly anchored on the mental assessment of Lawrence Warunge. So it means that when it reaches March 1st and the court determines, or the mental health assessment report indicates that he's still not fit to stand trial, it means that the case cannot proceed, because this is the main suspect, unless the investigators are able to get a hold of other suspects if they are there. But at the moment, we only had 2 suspects. One has become a state witness. The other one has remained a suspect. But the impediment here in this case is that he is still not mentally able to stand trial. So the case is heavily dependent on, one, his mental health assessment report after 30 days, and number 2, the progress that the investigative agencies, the progress they will have made in terms of trying to find out what transpired and if we might have had any other players in the case. So those 2 variables are the ones that will determine whether we will have the trial proceeding starting from March 1st, 2021 or not. But as it is at the moment, everything is dependent on Lawrence Warunge's mental health assessment report come March 1st, and if the hospital or the assessors will be able to ascertain whether he is fit or not. So everything depends on this one single suspect at the moment.
Right, many thanks, Mark Namasobe, live for us from our City Centre studios. Let's bring in now lawyer Cliff Mbeta to talk to us about what this all means going forward.